You can beat this guy to that corner boost. Literally let the ball go there. Grab like 2-3 pads. In that time, you're already at, you know, a pad, second pad, third pad, and we're back in defense. So now we're at 36 boost as opposed to getting bumped out of the way. If the ball's going to a spot that's really difficult to shoot from, i.e., you know, he can get it there from here, but it's not an easy shot. Yeah. If you can't beat him, don't try. He's gonna play around you. He's got all the resources. So yeah, grab some pads, rotate out. Yeah, same Jay, same. So yes, you might have got it with the wave dash, but if we fundamentally think about, I can't beat him there, so let's not try, we sort of change that, you know, thinking, then we're suddenly in a position where we have a very different scenario. Granted, you're still trying to block the shot, and it can still be awkward, but at least we're trying to block the shot with resources. Ooh. Wave dash is not wave dashing today. Ah, if you had a little bit of boost, that was a great setup. I really like what you're going for here. This is perfect. He went to the corner. You're there. I love this. Unfortunately, you just don't have the boost to take it home. You shoot far side here. That's great. But unfortunately, you just couldn't get there quick enough. But it's a good thought process. That's smart. As far as challenging goes, though, I would like to see you implement a little bit more fakes into this. The bottom of my water bottle isn't perfectly flat and it's wobbling. It's making me nervous. I'm not sure you can sell a fake to him, because fakes can be difficult to sell, and there's also a fine line between faking and overcommitting. Very fine line. But we just got boost, right, on our way back. We immediately go into shadow. If you turn upfield here, and then immediately turn back, he'd make that cut. And it's possible, you know, he's going to send it, and you're still going to be in a place to get control, because you've got enough distance. You got enough resources. But instead, you're put in a very difficult sort of shadow defense sort of thing. Be very careful of these kinds of plays. If you're not confident you can score this at this point, just let it go. Because you're going to be low boost and on their wall. Yeah, if you don't get that second touch, you're scored on, 100%. Be very, very careful. That works great in 2s, that works great in 3s. In 1s, unless you're confident in your ability to recover faster than they can, abort mission. Right, yeah. It happened to work out, but it worked out because he did something wrong, not because necessarily you did something right on that particular one. I mean, you did the follow-up correctly. I'm trying to figure out why he... Give me just a sec. Why did he fly? Oh. You went, like, mid, he went high. You know. '50s are like rock, paper, scissors. You should have seen this bump coming a mile away. Because if you're in his position, what do you do here? So far, what the main thing I've seen, the main thing I've noticed is, yeah, you're too focused on you and the ball, and not taking into account what their decision's going to be. You may be taking into account their positioning, their current positioning, but you're not taking into account their decision. And that's huge in ones. Understanding sort of, well, what are they going to probably do? I mean, it's big in all modes, but especially ones, because if you can get a feel for their playstyle, you can then sort of play to counter it. I hope that backflip was intentional, because that was smart to back out of that. But I'm not sure if it was. I was about to say, like, right when you jumped for this, I was like, and then you backflipped, and I was like, I hope that's intentional. Good, because that's smart. It's a good fake. You sort of force him to throw it away. Beat him to the boost, and then boom. But that's the power of fakes. You force them to get a less than ideal touch, and then you recover quicker than them so you can take advantage of the situation. Super small thing. You turning up the wall as opposed to, again, small thing. Turning up the wall as opposed to end of the field. You're creating a larger opening on the field. It's okay if he puts it up to the wall, you've still got time. But right there, a good power shot's gonna get you. His playstyle's so strange. Sometimes he goes for fancy stuff like that doesn't matter, and other times he just keeps it pure and simple. We gotta turn our car towards where we want to go, because if we could've... I know you're low boost, and that's kind of why you hit it the way you do. But if we turn a little bit more, and just literally toss it towards his net... Yeah. So this is one of those, just put it... Yeah, like, you turned away when you shouldn't have. But if we can literally, even if it's a weak shot, if we can just put it towards his net here, that's gonna buy us time to recover. It's gonna... Or actually... Yeah. You thought he was going away, he wasn't. But just putting it towards net, making it awkward, because he's got full boost there. They're kind of a danger zone. So, I bring this up specifically because you brought up challenging and distance. There's this distance, which changes from player to player, changes from game to game. But if he's peak 2.1, and he's been playing fairly decently, this amount of space is not enough if he goes for a decent flick. And he's currently set up for a flick. You got it, MB. I trust, I trust, I trust. So there's this sort of zone where you're too close to challenge, but too far away, too far away to save if he shoots. And you're kind of in this that sort of area, considering where he's at right now. And so your options are, go further away and give him the time and space to set up, which, considering the way you're going, is kind of what needs to happen, or you need to figure out a way to safely challenge, which isn't really possible because he's got momentum going sort of probably this way. You've got momentum going this way. You're not going to stop this momentum, go this way, challenge, and then be able to recover in case it doesn't go right. So you could. You go a little bit left, you get a better angle on the shot. So it sort of stems again from there. These things just compound, but yeah. You can go a little bit left, right, or the other way to cut back in. So you get that better angle on the clear. That was good. Ooh. This is, again, the sort of... You're taking into account kind of where he is, but you're pushing up into that danger zone again. At this point, you've decided full on, I'm going to get a 50. There's no way I'm not going to get a 50. That is what your car language is saying right now. Honestly, MB, that's fantastic. Did somebody like come in Team VC and rickroll you? And so, by you not getting a 50 there, it's kind of screwed you over. So if you wanted to fake that, you could have, but you needed to do it. Oh, their player anthem? You needed to do that sooner. Or you needed to full send and get it. Sort of make a decision. Yeah, opponent's corner is a rip. So, in general, can you send that video, Shifty? I'd love to watch that. As sort of a rule of thumb, unless you know you've got control or are kind of a good spot, if you go beyond sort of, circumstantially, sort of like this line, if you're on this side, it's going to be a lot easier for the opponent to score on you than for you to score on the opponent. Because there's a lot of wall and a little goal, and all it has to do is bounce off that wall, and suddenly they've got momentum. So it's okay to go over there, but be very sure you know what you're doing. At a lower rank, I would just say just leave it, but, things change. Rules are more like guidelines in Rocket League. There's always, circumstances are circumstantial. I'm going to add that to my watch later. I have a Discord group chat with just myself. Yeah. There's a Vermis! Noodle! Yeah. So, pressure, double-edged sword. You gotta, just like we were talking about earlier, that ideal distance. How you doing, Noodle? We got, well, you were up until 2 a.m. drinking. Hello! Exclamation mark noodle. We need one of those. Yummy, yummy. Were you just drinking it straight? This particular one, if we were to break down sort of what happened here, it's literal hesitation. At this point, had you decided to hard turn, send, like, just as it was happening, you could have beat him to it, but it's so small. Or half flip. Yeah, half flip, use your 12 boost. Shifty's right. Some of the finer things on the mechs are definitely lost on me in ones. I'm still learning. Especially considering it's a game mode I don't really play because I'm not cool enough. I like that pressure. So this is something I do like from you. We briefly went over this earlier in the replay, but how you doing, Papa Pig? Oh, Pinkie Pie? Yeah, but what you're doing is you're making sure that he can't get a controlled touch here. You're forcing him to go this speed, and so you're not allowing him. Oh, Diego Master. Yeah, if he slows, he dies. That's really good, and that's what actually gives you that sort of opportunity. Although I don't know about going for his corner boost. We're again putting ourselves in danger zone. A little bit of a fake there. Did he actually see you? Yeah, he saw you cut in. I am doing a replay review right now. Oh. No, this is like GC1. You could have just straight challenged / try and hit his car. But I don't know if that gives him space. It might have worked, it might not have. It was an option though. I'm not sure. See about that space, so he's watching you, sees you challenge. Boop, right over. How do we fix this? Let's take a look back. Because give me a sec. That's a good amount. We add that. But how you doing, Noodle? How you feeling? You feeling good? Because normally what happens is there's one mistake that sort of just compounds, and it ends up with you sort of circling, and then you ended up getting scored on. Honestly, I think it's you going for that big boost that kicks this whole thing off. Yeah. Either chase for a little bit and go for that mid boost, or, you know, pads. But, like, now we've completely given off pressure. Now he has time and space to set up. You literally gave him as much time and space as literally possible in ones. other than you being in his net upside down. So, I think you're just hyper-focused on, my car's kind of going that direction. I'll get there quick, but you gotta go twice as far. Keep that in mind. When you're going the opposite direction, you gotta go twice as far. So you travel the full field to sort of get back. Versus, you could have been 50ing or challenging right now had you gone for mid-boost. And so that's where this sort of compounds. We get that? Do you have control? Small chance if you just sent the 50, you would have been able to get it. As opposed to circling back. Other than that, you would have had to go for a save, which is difficult. It's alright, MB. You got from div 3 to div 4, and now you're going from div 4 to div 1. I mean that up, not down. Noodle, drink water! I still need to hop in that noodle backpack. I got a couple wins with Nat, but we need some more. How far away were you from that pad? You're so close to that pad. You had that pad, that would have been a much better save. So, part of the thing is you did like 2 or 3 fakes this whole game. So, you're either, they can tell by looking at your car, you're either going to challenge or you're not. So, because you're so telegraphed, you're predictable. And predictability is a downfall in ones. There's sort of 3 elements to shots, 3 elements to gameplay. There's, well, for shots, it's placement, power, and creativity. If you take any one of those away, it's much, much more difficult to be able to do things. Same things with creativity, placement. You know, those are huge on challenges as well. For example, coming out of a blindside, they're like, oh no, I've just got the audio. Yeah, draw them in close. Early half flip challenges. Exactly, Shifty. I was just about to get there. Nobody expects people to go backwards. If you have some boost, and you're confident... No, you're good, you're good. I was agreeing with you. No need to apologize. I'm saying you've got to... You're saying the right things, that's what I'm saying. Nobody expects those backwards challenges. They work so good. Sorry for saying sorry. Noodle, are you sure I'm not married to you? Because my wife says... I'll be like, no need to apologize, and she's like, sorry. But... So I'm terrible at half flips. My main issue is I don't press like straight down and up on the controller stick. I honestly want a faceplate for the Xbox where it's kind of like the GameCube controller, where it had like notches at the very edges. That would help me with my half flips so much. But half flip, you know, you get over and then you boost through that. You can change directions very quickly, and people are like, oh, you were just going the other way. What the heck just happened? You get away with so much stuff because of the creativity element of that challenge, if you can, you know, pull it off right. But definitely integrate, you know, a little bit of fakes and unpredictability into the gameplay style. And try and do less fancy stuff. What I mean by that is the simpler you can keep things here, the better. Because going for those flip resets is going to just, under most circumstances, not all, under most circumstances, or, you know, the long aerial plays, at this level, people are going to watch you run out of your boost, challenge, save, and then you're awkward. I'm going to watch a little bit from his POV. He was doing pretty good at sort of keeping it simple. See, like, simple. That was a really good bump, though. He didn't... I don't know... Okay, pops it up. Not getting the control. See, he tries to make it complicated, and you just keep it simple. He messes up, the mech didn't go exactly how he wanted, you capitalize on those mistakes. As opposed to going for the long air... Oh, I say as he just does that. But see how you just sort of counter, and now he has to recover and fight it? Exactly. So, what's very interesting to me is what's considered basic on different ranks. So, like, SSL, flip resets, musties are all basic. At my rank, they're like, oh, he's trying to be fancy. So, make sure you're confident in keeping control of the ball or putting it somewhere you want. Don't do anything you're not confident in. Yep, stay grounded, stay grounded. So, oh, why can't I remember? Who's the flick guy? The guy who's really Moxie, I think. He has a pretty interesting video where he talks about the way he sets up his offensive drives. Alright, no worries. I'll get to this point. What he says is he will put his flicks in a place where he thinks his opponent may be able to save it, but he knows he can recover faster than them. So, for example, he may put it in the top left and immediately go, you know, they're on the right. He may put it top left, and then he'll grab their boost, get the ball, and sort of chip them down. It's an offensive drive as opposed to just a, I'm going to shoot, oh, I didn't make the shot, okay, it's over. It's a drive. Try and bring out that offense, have a plan for the whole drive to chip them down. But, so, to sum things up, you know, keep in mind, you know, when you're making decisions to challenging what the opponent can do. And then, you know, throw in some fakes and keep in mind on that distance. Yeah, no, you were playing really well this game. Like, I would be stoked if I could play this well. I wouldn't be